I'd love to say that it was some kind of moral crusade, that I was fighting the good fight and serving Queen and country, that it was my vocation to be the proud enforcer of the long arm of the law. But that'd be a load of bollocks. I never dreamed I'd join the police. It was never an aspiration of mine growing up. The truth is, I was far more likely to be a criminal than constable. I was born in the late 70s and raised by second-generation Irish parents. My mum was one of 9, on a tough Manchester council estate. I grew up during decades dogged by poverty, social unrest and unemployment. Crime would have been an easy path to take, especially in my family. My mum's oldest brother was a local hard nut, and along with my granddad, ran an illegal bookmaking and loan shark racket from the estate pub in the days when they'd shut at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. On a Sunday, that would usually mean my old man and my uncles throwing as much beer down them as possible and beating 7 shades of shit out of each other on the green outside. One of my other uncles sometimes took me off my mum's hands like he was doing her a favour. Aren't you good taking our Shay out and giving me a break?" my mum would say, beaming. She had no idea he was using me as a decoy for his shoplifting activities. Some of my mates were into petty crime, riding around on stolen motorbikes, even robbing houses. Doing a stretch in juvenile jail was a badge of honour. They bounce out like minor celebrities with starry-eyed girls hanging off them and think, I'm the man. Drugs were everywhere. Could have quite easily got myself a 9-bar of gear on tick, cut it up and start making a few quid on the street. Who knows? Maybe I could have worked my way up to the fairy tale of the big shiny white villa in the sun. But the cold reality of that life is you're more likely to end up in jail or in the ground. Don't get me wrong, I can't guarantee the origins of every motorbike I ever rode as a teenager. But unlike some of my mates, I wasn't a young criminal. Didn't sit well with me. That's not to say I'd go running to the police telling tales though. Just wasn't a dumb thing. Not when the welcome messages for the local bobbies comprised the words pigs and filth daubed in spray paint on the dirty red brick walls surrounding the estate. We dealt with our own shit. Whether you'd been battered or burgled, you didn't ring the dibble, and you certainly didn't grass. Know anything about this robbery last night? What robbery? Did you see the car being set on fire? Not sure what you mean, officer. You seen this man? He's wanted over a stabbing. Never seen him in my life, officer. It was an unwritten rule. If a cop would come asking questions, you kept stum. You handle things your own way. When I was a kid, someone made the foolish mistake of breaking into our house, a 2-up, 2-down council semi, and nicking the coins from the gas meter. My dad didn't ring the police. He stormed into the local pub and battered a known burglar in front of the whole boozer while he pleaded his innocence. "You want him, son," he told me afterwards. It's about sending a message. As far back as I can remember, my dad ingrained it in me. You don't back down, you don't let anyone intimidate you, and you never show fear. Coming home crying and telling tales wasn't a wise move for me as a kid. If I came in whinging, he'd fucking lever me himself. Fearing his wrath, I took it to extremes. When an older lad, bit of a bully on our road, gave me shit, I wrapped a cricket bat round his head. Sparked uproar on the street. When my dad found out what happened, he battered me anyway. I can't fucking win, I thought. But he toughened me up, and I had to be tough because violence was never far away. My dad was an intelligent and hard-working man, also very funny at times, but, as I would later find out, deeply troubled. He'd been raised in the care system and it had robbed him of the ability to display any emotion. Instead, he lashed out. That was just his way. It made for a volatile relationship with my mum and an uncomfortable, often unbearable atmosphere at home. My mum was a seamstress, and I remember coming down the stairs once to see his shovel-like hands forcing her head towards the needle of the sewing machine as he pressed the foot pedal and screamed, "I'll sew that fucking mouth up if you carry on." I look back now, horrified at some of the shit my mum had to endure. But back then it didn't feel unusual. When I was a kid, she even ended up in hospital so ill that she received the last rites. I know now that her condition was purely stress-induced, no doubt from living with him. As I moved into my teens, explosive clashes with my dad became the norm, and they would invariably end in me taking a pasting. I don't look back with sorrow and regret, though. I'm not saying, oh, woe is me. In some kind of warped way, my upbringing stood me in good stead for what was to come in my life. It wasn't all bad either. There were tender moments. I was sent to the local Roman Catholic primary school and told I was doing Holy Communion. I point-blank refused. 7 years old and already a headstrong little fucker. They tried to talk me round, but I wouldn't budge. The priest even came to the house to try and persuade my mother and father to make me do it. "If you don't want to do it, then the lad doesn't do it," said my dad, giving me a little wink. I used to love sitting up late watching the Tyson fights. Nigel Benn was another of our favourites. We liked the all-action brawlers. I was really into me boxing and putting the gloves on. I earned a bit of a reputation as someone who could bang a bit, and did so on several occasions, not all of them in the ring.